Have you ever wanted to live in a mountain town, or at least the base of the mountains? I have. When most people think of mountain towns or cities, they think of the most popular ones: Aspen, Asheville, Park City, Stowe, Vermont, Gatlinburg, Jackson, and a handful of others. In today's video, we're looking at 10 often overlooked or unknown mountain towns worth considering if you're looking to move to a higher elevation. And stop typing. If you're from that part of the country, I'm sure these towns and cities aren't unknown to you, but to most people they are. This video is in no particular order. These are just 10 that are overlooked. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Ruidoso, New Mexico. All right, let's talk about Ruidoso. This is a quiet spot nestled in the mountains where the air feels a bit crisper and the views are straight up postcard worthy. This is located somewhat in the southern part of New Mexico, not too far east from White Sands Missile Range. If you're in the military, you've heard of the place before. This is a sweet escape for people looking to hit the ski slopes in the winter, hang out at the casino and horse track in the summer. You can go hiking and on nature walks, or just kick back in a cabin and have some hot cocoa. They got it all in Ruidoso. Maybe not surfing. Kind of need an ocean for that. Or one of those really cool wave pools. I've seen some. They're getting so much better. It's just kind of like this hidden gem where you can become one with nature, get a little adventurous, or simply just enjoy the scenery. If you want to move here, they say the average home value is $296,000. I was looking around on Zillow. It looks like they've got a lot of houses for around $230,000 that are going to need some work, but they're definitely livable. Number 9, Covington, Virginia. Covington, Virginia is a cozy little spot tucked away in the Allegheny Mountains. If you're into the nature stuff, you're gonna love it here. It's got this small town charm that makes you feel right at home, even if you're not from this area. If you want to move there, great. If you're just visiting, great. This is in the Roanoke region, which means it's going to be surrounded by some of the prettiest forests and rivers that you can find in this country. People here are super welcoming, and the town itself has a bunch of history. So if you're ever driving through Virginia and you got a soft spot for scenic views and friendly faces, make sure you swing by Covington. It's worth the pit stop at least. Now, Zillow says the average home value here is about $132,000. That's pretty low. I looked around and it looks like a decent home starts off around $150,000, $160,000. You can get something really nice for $350,000. Number 8, Bisbee, Arizona. Bisbee, Arizona is one of those hidden gems that you've got to visit to really understand. It is near the southern part of Arizona. It's a step back in time to a cool old school mining town type thing. Sort of funky with an artsy twist. It is nestled in the Mule Mountains. Bisbee was once booming because of its rich copper mine. Today, it's more famous for its quirkiness and its artists and things like that. This place has the annual Bisbee 1000 stair climb. Basically, it's a race up and around the town's steep old stairways. Trust me, it's a bit of a workout. I say that with full confidence because, to me, going up like 10 stairs is a bit of a workout. Not that bad, but I'll tell you what, any kind of race that includes stairs does not sound like a good time to me. So if you're looking for a blend of history, art, and a touch of offbeat, Bisbee may be that place. If you want to buy a home here, they say the average home value here is $212,713. I looked around and livable older homes start off around $200,000. Might need a little work, but you could probably move in as soon as you pay for it. Number 7, West Yellowstone, Montana. West Yellowstone is a town located in the southern part of Montana. This town serves as the primary entrance to Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park is obviously one of the best national parks the United States has. It's also famous for its geysers, and it's where Yogi Bear used to live. And stop typing. Yogi Bear was from Jellystone, not Yellowstone. If you do ever visit, make sure you see the Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Center. That's a pretty interesting thing. It's also big for fly fishing here. They have a few streams and rivers around the area, and a lot of people come here just to do fly fishing. And I'm talking, you're not going off into the woods, for 10 miles. It's like 5 minutes outside of town, if that. It probably takes you longer to pack your stuff up in the car than it does driving to the location where you can start fly fishing. Now, West Yellowstone is a little expensive. The rest of their stats are pretty decent, but they are expensive. The average home value here is $575,000. It's a bit expensive, and some of the property goes way up from there into the millions. But this is the thing. In Montana and Wyoming, almost any place you buy that isn't like downtown Billings or something is gonna come with a couple acres. So if you look at West Yellowstone on Zillow, you're gonna see right now some homes that are around $520 for a really nice cabin that comes on 2 acres. They got another one for $699, which is a really nice home that has like 3/4 of an acre. That's kind of small for Montana, but you get the idea. It's not houses that are 5 feet away from each other. You got some space. From what I can see on Zillow, the typical home's gonna go for around $600,000 realistically. It's expensive, but if you could afford it, this is a great place to live. Number 6, Shenandoah, Pennsylvania. Now, we just got done talking about a very expensive place to live in the mountains. Now let's talk about one of the cheapest places I've found to live, period. Shenandoah, Pennsylvania. This is a town in Pennsylvania's coal region. Coal is on the decline, so a lot of these towns are pretty cheap to live in these days. If you could bring a job with you, like remote working or you're retired, this is a great option. You probably want to be able to withstand a couple really bad winters too while you're at it, if you're going to move here. Shenandoah sits about 53 miles away from Allentown and about 100 miles away from Philadelphia and about 144 miles away from New York City. So you're out there in the sticks a bit, and they don't have the best stats, but they are so cheap, it almost might be worth it. My suggestion for anyone that wants to move to this place is to make sure you get a home or stay outside of town a little bit. It's a small town. It really doesn't have suburbs, but kind of like a suburbs are to a bigger city. Some of the surrounding towns are a little bit better, and they're little like burgs. But you could get an acre or so outside of town for about $179,000. Anything in town is going to take a lot of work. You look at the homes, and these were once beautiful homes that are for sale right now. If you're one of those types that could really fix it up, it might be your thing, but it is so cheap, it's hard to overlook this one. But cheap always comes with its problems. Keep that in mind. Number 5, Julian, California. Known for its apple orchards and gold mining history. This one is near San Diego. So if you've never heard of Julian, I think it's a great place to live, especially if you have kids or grandkids. You could live in a small town like this, and you're not too far away from San Diego and all the things you want to do with kids or grandkids, an hour away or so. You're an hour or so away from the beaches. You're an hour away from SeaWorld, hour and a half away from Legoland if you're living here, and you're far enough away from the city, you're not going to run into a whole bunch of traffic living there. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are groaning right now because you've heard all the stories about California. Of all the big cities, San Diego is the one with the least amount of suckage in California. You got San Jose, far too expensive, far too many homeless, the place sucks. San Francisco, same thing. Oakland, nightmare. Los Angeles, too crowded, too much traffic, and tons of homeless. San Diego has a little of each, not nearly as bad as the other places. If you want to move out here and buy some property, the average home value in Julian, California is $561,000. It's a little up there. Just by looking at what they have available, I would say it's closer to $600,000 as your starting point for a house in Julian, California. But it's California, that's how it is. Number 4, Lake Placid, New York. This Adirondack town is famous for hosting the Winter Olympics twice. I've always found this place very interesting. It's up there in the Adirondacks. It's really not that big, but they still had the Olympics twice, and they had probably one of the most amazing Olympic events or happenings there, the Miracle on Ice. Do you remember that? 1980, the U.S. hockey team shocked everyone and won the gold medal. Yeah, they're a bunch of college kids, and they played basically a professional Russian team, and if you don't know, Russians are great at hockey. But all that Olympic history aside, this place is a playground for nature lovers. Imagine kayaking on a mirror-like lake, hiking trails with Instagram-worthy views, and then a little town where you can go get something to eat and cozy up in a cabin someplace. Whether you're chasing winter sports or just want a killer backdrop for a summer barbecue, Lake Placid's a great place to live. Now, it's a little bit expensive. It could get way up there, but this is deceiving. Their average home value is $340,678. They do have some older homes that might need a little work that are around $250,000, $260,000, but a majority of the decent homes here are going to be upwards of $650,000. And they go way up. There's an amazing one that is right on the lake. and it's huge. It's got 9 bedrooms, 9 baths. It's going for just about $12 million. I'd like to buy that property, but I don't get Mr. Beast type views. If you don't know who Mr. Beast is, he's the biggest guy on YouTube right now. And I'm sure he could afford a lakefront $12 million home. Number 3, Maryville, Tennessee. Maryville, Tennessee is one of those cozy, tucked away towns that's kind of got it all. It's nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. It's a stone's throw from some of the coolest hiking trails and campgrounds you could find in this country. But it's not just about the nature. Downtown Marysville is a very laid-back type of small town with, like local shops, cafes, and the occasional live music event. Plus, with Knoxville just a short drive away, you've got a good mix of small town charm and big city access. It's the type of place where people grab some coffee on their way to a high school football game, and when you get there, you know everybody in the stands. If you want to buy a home here, it's a little up there. It's $356,000 is the average value of a home. I looked around. I'd say that's pretty close to what you could get something for, in between $350,000 and $400,000. Decent homes. They have a few really nice homes that get over, let's say, $800,000 and maybe into, $1.5 million. They don't have many of those, and that's sort of why the average is really close to what's realistic. Number 2, Cumberland, Maryland. Cumberland, Maryland is a cool little town tucked away in the Appalachian Mountains. Back in the day, it was a big deal for transportation since it sat at the crossroads of multiple major routes, including a very busy rail line. Now, the train doesn't buzz through town anymore, but Cumberland's got a nostalgic feel to the place. That's sort of a mix of its historic past and the surrounding natural beauty. They have plenty of places to go mountain biking, hiking, and check out some epic views. The downtown area, it's filled with quaint shops and some awesome events that light up the streets throughout the year. Definitely worth a visit, and you probably want to move there if you do. Here's the good news. It is in Maryland, and it's outside of Baltimore, and it's inexpensive. The average home value is about $141,000. They have a lot of decent older homes here that go for about $150,000, maybe up to $200,000. If you want something really nice, probably going to be about $330,000. So overall, it's a very affordable place to buy a home and live. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to any town in the United States, not just the ones on this list, there's a link for Home and Money in the comment section below. If you click on that and go to their website, they can help you get in touch with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. They also got a bunch of other cool tools on there to help you through the home buying process. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Prineville, Oregon. Prineville is in central Oregon, just up the road from Bend, Oregon, with the Ochoco National Forest to its east. This is a beautiful part of Oregon, even though it's not the rainy, green, everywhere type thing you're used to seeing about Oregon. This is still very beautiful. Prineville is far enough away from Portland, Oregon to where it's not even a factor for them. I think most people from Prineville make it a point never to go to Portland. If they need anything, they'll go down to maybe, Eugene or down to Bend. If you're the outdoor type, this is the perfect type of place for you. They've got fishing, camping, hiking, mountain biking, not too far from skiing. This whole area is here because of logging back in the day. They've got a lot of history in the timber industry. I read not too long ago, I haven't done this out there, but I understand a lot of people go out there to do stargazing. They take their telescopes out there because they have like next to no light pollution. So you just go outside of the little town a little bit and the sky's illuminated at night. If you wanted to move here and buy some property, the average home value is about $408,000. And that's a little high. They've got plenty of places there that are around $330,000 that are nice. I wouldn't say they were built in the last few years, but they look decent. I didn't rank these by anything in particular. Like I said, it was just random, but I think Prineville is the one I would move to out of all of them. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.